So I'm going to show you how to create your next carousel here in less than 30 seconds. I'm going to take a little bit longer because I'm going to explain it to you. AI-powered content creation tool. It's built specifically for real estate. It's not generic AI. We haven't just plugged in ChatGPT in the background because if you've ever tried it for real estate, it comes up with absolute rubbish. So we've really tuned it. There's like an encyclopedia of knowledge of real estate in here, so it knows what it's talking about. Now, the only thing you really need to do is, click create content, and selecting an audience is the only thing you need to do. So this is the audience you're talking to, who you want the content to be aimed at. So I'm going to go for landlords because, if you're managing properties, you want to get more. Now, intent is optional. Now, these are the different sort of stages that someone might be going through, or in their journey, or just areas of interest that they're interested in. So, I'm going to select here switching property managers. So that's going to create content that will encourage people to think, maybe I should switch property managers. Now, here you can select your branding and identity. If you're with a network, I'm just using Harcourts as a demo here, but your network work would be in here, or your own branding. And you can select just generic branding or your office branding. Now, the other thing you can do is you can either create content from an office perspective, to be, we, us, or an individual agent. So in this instance, I'm going to choose an agent. And we're going to create content specifically for Mark here. So once I've done that, you just click Get Ideas. So really, really easy. It's going to come up with some ideas for you. There's no need to go into a Canva. There's no need to sort of, scroll through templates and find something. This does it for you. So immediately now you can see it's created essentially 6 ideas for us. And it's creating the first piece of content here, as you can see. Now, there's our carousel. It's already been created. Is it time to switch your property manager? You can quickly scroll through here and you can see that it's created everything, including a call to action here. So everything's all ready to go. It took seconds to create that. Now, there's a caption here that's already done for you, and you can choose the style of the carousel. So here there's different types of layouts here. So, this is a different one for Instagram, for example, taller version. And you can also choose the color scheme. So, there's a number of ways here to keep your feed fresh with different layouts, different colors, but maintaining your overall brand. Now, you can edit all of this. You can see a pencil here. If you click on this, it shows you all of your slides here, and you can change any of this in the carousel. So I can click here and change the image. You say, oh, that might not be really the kind of image I want, and you can search. We've got a built-in image library here that's being added to all the time. I think there's 1,000 images here. We're about to add another 1,000. So you can do a bit of a search here and choose an image that you feel is better. You can choose to replace one image, and you can replace these individually, right? So you can go here and say, oh, I'm gonna replace these individually, but you can just replace them all if you want, with the image that you want. The other thing that we do have in here is we've got all your listings. So all of your listings are in here. They're a great source of content for your social media. So, no one's going to sort of look and say, hey, that's my kitchen, or that's my backyard, because once it's in a social media tile like this, it's fine. So huge image library. Use any of your listings to change this. You can change any of the text. So you can click here and edit, and change any of this content here, and it'll just automatically update on there. So very, very simple. Of course, you can change the logo and Mark's picture as well if you want. All easy, very easy. So once you finish that, it's as simple as clicking here and saying add to my media library. And that's going to save it in your own personal media library, and you can schedule and share it out whenever you want. Now, the great part here is you can see it's saving. I can just click on all of these, okay? And it's going to create all of this content for me. So it's going to create 5 or 6 of the similar type of content here that you can see, and you can just quickly save this out. So very quickly, you can get sort of multiple pieces of content on the same audience. Now you can swap your audience and create more content, but when you're sort of planning your social media, you want to really sort of focus on one sort of audience maybe per week, and then swap it out a little bit. The other thing that you'll notice here, we've got this add your touch. So one of the things that we wanted to do was make it personal for you. So already it's personal. So it's got your suburbs in here. It's got you as an agent and your contact information, your branding. Everything's already personalized, but you can personalize it further when it's got this add your touch. And some of the audiences and intents will give you more opportunity to do this. But if I select this one, it's going to ask me, so describe tenant feedback received immediately after switching property managers. Now, one of the things that we've put in here, no one wants to sit here and type a lot of information. So we've put this little microphone in, and you can literally just speak and explain the situation, and it'll just get weaved into your carousel once you've spoken. So I'm going to click here. The tenants were amazed because some of the problems with the unit were fixed immediately upon us changing property managers, and they were really happy because the other old property manager just was not responsive at all. But now all of the sort of little niggly things have been fixed, and they're guaranteed to stay. They were actually thinking of moving, but now with the new property manager and everything's fixed and the better communication, things, they're going to stay. So once I've submitted that, it's going to weave that narrative into your content and make it specific for you. And we'll be making other sort of opportunities in here to do this kind of thing, like a listing story where you sort of tell a story about a listing instead of having it just sold. You can see here it's created the slide, the carousel with the information that we put on: previous manager unresponsive, better communications, led to quick tenant satisfaction. So you can see how it can really make it easy to create specific content, tailored to you, tailored to your experiences. So the one last thing that I will just show you as well is this settings here. So in the settings section, you can determine the type of voice you have. So, you might want it coming from an agent or an office, and you might want, to change the tone here. So conservative is kind of what we have now. Strong viral is sort of, you won't believe this happened kind of style. And you can also put in the suburbs that you deal with here and set up your, your area type, so that, if you're in a regional area, it's not going to talk about in a city. So you can just save that there. And then that'll guide the AI with your content. Once you've saved all your content, it's a matter of just going back into your media library here, and you can see all of the content that you've created here. Here it is that we just created, that slide. Click on here, and then you can easily just save it out. It's already got your caption in here. You don't need to worry about that. And then you can schedule or get it ready to go out, or push it into approval, for example. So very, very simple. I can just go schedule for, choose a time and a date, let's say this time next week, and then schedule a post. And then that's been scheduled to all of those social media platforms. So really, really easy. You want to go in and have a look at this. There's tons of content in here. We're really excited to see what you create.